Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Tim Drake and Dick Grayson because Tom King announced that he had a pitch for during the time that Dick Grayson had got shot in the head during the Ric Grayson arc that nobody asked for. Tim Drake would take over the mantle of Nightwing, and if you ask me, I actually think that that is such a good idea, honestly, now that I think about it, I think that would have been a smart idea. After the Battle of the Cow, how Dick Grayson became Batman, and Damian Wayne became the new Robin. Robin became Red Robin. Stephanie Brown became Batgirl. Cassandra Cain had become Black Bat. But now that I'm thinking about it, what if after the Battle of the Cow, Dick Grayson gave the mantle of Nightwing to Tim Drake? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's actually a smarter idea. Like, everybody always trying to figure out what they can do with Dick Grayson, and Tim Drake or whatever and stuff like that. And maybe a good transitional piece would be if Tim Drake did take over the mantle of Nightwing and then have Dick Grayson transition into another mantle. I know some people are like, oh, that's crazy. But no, if you really think about it, after Barbara Gordon had stopped being Batgirl, Helena Bertinelli had became Batgirl, but she wasn't up to the task. Then it passed on to Cassandra Cain. When Bruce Wayne had died, she was tasked to give the mantle of Batgirl to Stephanie Brown, and that then she became the new Batgirl and had created a new run. What if Tim Drake, after the events of the Ric Grayson arc, becomes Nightwing and becomes the new protector of Bloodhaven, but also after Dick Grayson is recovered, Tim was going to give him back his mantle, but instead of Dick Grayson saying, yeah, I'll take the mantle back, he decides to become something different. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, you guys know that there are other names for Dick Grayson that he also went under. So he went under Target, Renegade, Burn, the Gray Sun, the Gray Sun, Agent 13 as well. So, Agent 37, I'm sorry. So, actually, you could have him use one of these, and I think Renegade would probably be a nice title for him too, because now that he's back, he's on a mission, and I think that could be a cool little thing for Dick Grayson to elevate into a new mantle. Not that he's come back, he's still lighthearted, but he has just a little bit more edge on him after getting shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? I know Tom King said that the pitch was only supposed to be for like 6 to 12 issues of, Dick Grayson being out of commission and then Tim Drake taking over as Nightwing. But DC said hell no. But of course, DC would say hell no. They always hate good ideas anyway, it seems like it, especially when everything was going good for them. They decided to self-sabotage DC Rebirth. But maybe that could be something interesting for the characters, because everybody always keep acting like they don't know what to do with Tim Drake, even though, if you go back in the past, there's a lot to do with Tim Drake. But it's just like people just choose to be ignorant, especially when you come to the writers and even some of the fans be like, I didn't know anything about Tim Drake or whatever and stuff like that. Even though in the media, the Robin that you've been really basing everything that's been based off of is Tim Drake. But sure, let's pretend like we don't know what we can do with Tim Drake. But I think that will actually be something interesting, because it's not like Tim Drake hasn't taken over during a time where Dick Grayson was out of commission for Bloodhaven. Tim Drake, during the time that he was Robin, moved to Bloodhaven and kind of became its protector, along with Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, occasionally. But yeah, Tim Drake took some time and decided that he was going to be the protector of Bloodhaven too. Yeah, sure, he messed up a little bit or whatever, because he still was a kid, but now, being a matured person, I think it could possibly work, especially since when Brian Michael Bendis tried to make him Drake and then gave him like a sort of Nightwing costume, except for it was brown and ugly. This time you can give him a proper Nightwing costume instead. I saw an illustration of it that I'm gonna show in the video where he had like the New 52 kind of outfit on, but I was thinking maybe he could have a cape or something like that. You know what I mean? But maybe like what I would do is probably incorporate his Red Robin flight suit, or put in the tassel cape that he had in his 1 year later costume. That'd be really cool because I think just to different him from the regular Nightwing, put like some kind of cape or something like that. A little bit more of a tech-based kind of Nightwing, so people know that this is Nightwing is different than the original Nightwing. So that would have been really cool to kind of see, because I think that's an interesting character development for, you know, Tim Drake and Dick Grayson, both to kind of transition out of that. I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy that they actually rejected this idea, because I was wondering why nobody didn't take up the mantle of Nightwing while Nightwing was out and about. You know what I'm saying? Or why wasn't Robin or Batgirl or any of the Bat family members watching over Bloodhaven while Richard was incapacitated? You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of weird, and it was what killed Nightwing momentum. And honestly, I haven't read a Nightwing comic book since that fateful thing. And then on top of that, what I think Tom King now gave Nightwing superpowers, so now he's Super Wing. So if that's the case, why not have Tim Drake become the new Nightwing? It will only make logical sense, you know, since you're transferring him into Super Wing, and he's becoming the leader of the Titans, and the Titans supposed to be like the new Justice League. Let Tim Drake be the new Nightwing, but you got to leave the bisexuality nonsense alone. When we start this new series, if they ever had did it, the whole bisexuality thing will never be talked about or brought up ever again. I don't care what the reasoning is for most people, but that would be the one thing that has to go. But other than that, if you transfer Tim Drake into the Nightwing mantle, you can have a cool appreciation of the growth between Dick Grayson as Nightwing and then Tim Drake as Nightwing, now that he's a little bit older and a little bit more mature, and how he can handle Bloodhaven when he used to be Robin, and now that he's Nightwing. And then you just have Nightwing transition into another title, but also still being the leader of the Titans or something like that. That's just my kind of personal opinion with the whole situation. But I know that they're transferring the Titans over to Bloodhaven, so that might not work, but I think it could have worked. But it's just kind of crazy that they rejected that idea, because the idea was solid, honestly. Especially since they wanted to, it seems like DC always want to transition Dick Grayson out anyway. Not that that's a bad thing or a good thing. Sometimes they want to kill him off. Sometimes they just want to transition him out and let him do something else besides being Nightwing. Maybe this could have been a cool, you know, a cool breeding ground to try to figure out what they could do with Dick Grayson and Tim Drake, because I'm always seeing this thing of they're always trying to push Dick Grayson out of being Nightwing and further away from the Bat family sometimes. So why not just give him a new title? I guess Super Wing will be his new title. I don't know. Or Renegade, like I think, or Talon if you want to. I think some people said that Talon would probably be a good name for him, and then have Tim Drake as Nightwing as well. But I don't know. It's just me kind of rambling about it. But I think that would really be something really cool. I think that was such a cool idea that they just kind of ignored, and I really wish they didn't ignore, but it is what it is. It's too late now, but maybe they can think about it in the future one day. But you know, obviously you got to have some good writers, and you have people that really care about it, because we can talk about this all day, but if they're not going to do anything about it, then it's no point. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.